Welcome. Hello, everybody. It is 12 p.m. and going to be our first episode. With that being said, there's a lot of ishness going on right now. I'm a Verizon customer. Why not? Verizon customers are suffering. Probably I did 3 hours of making sure this was going to go perfect yesterday. I really did. Even Sharon, thank you, Sharon, Music Mermaid. She messages me to say, hey, I think you're live. I'm like, yes, Sharon, I'm testing. 20 minutes ago, my internet goes out. I have no idea why my internet is out. So my laptop is out. I get to use my brand new tripod though, so this is good. We'll take the good with the bad here, folks. You got to pivot and move, especially in the fashion business. It's all about the pivot and move action, especially with all of the changing, the AIs, everything that is going on. So we are here. Welcome to episode 1 of the Fashion Business Unfiltered. This episode, oh, mind you, all of my notes from my fabulous intern are in my phone right now. So we went old school. I had to write everything down about 5 minutes ago. Episode 1 is why fashion brands fail. It's not design. And it isn't design, to be honest with you. That's what Keo Agency is about. We're helping designers build a business. It's more than just creating a dress. You have to build a business within everything. So, this episode is actually sponsored by Queenia. This fabulous top is from Queenia with the matching pearl earrings. You can shop my shop code, Angela10, at queeniafashion.com, or they have in-store locations at Copley, Chestnut Hill, and the Burlington Mall. So with that, we are going to hop into everything. And again, shout out to my intern from Suffolk University, Katie, who is doing the research on all of these episodes. This is a 10-episode series. And shout out to the Mass Fashion Week queen, Miss Megan. This has been something that's been a little bit on my mind. Everybody knows that we just had our Reality of Retail panel, which was live at Umbria Steakhouse. And we had some great fashion designers, brick and mortar people that are out there dealing with the reality of a retail space. And I got a lot of great feedback. And then Miss Megan came up to me at a BOGO Split event to kick off the Women in Business this year and said, you know what, Ange, I would love to hear you do a podcast. Well, Miss Megan, I love listening to you. So back at you, Bella. All right. Oh, and tonight, folks, don't forget, Performer is going to be at the Fashionably Late tonight. We're doing a live show. We're giving away Boston Fashion Awards to the winners. So if you're listening, Lauren Swim, if you're listening, guys, make sure you get your butt down to the Liberty Hotel tonight for Fashionably Late. Dynasty is showing as well. So it'll be a great night. We'll be live, and we'll see you at 8. The show starts at 9. All right, so does anybody have any idea what percentage of businesses fail in the first 3 years? Oh, yeah, close. I see you. I see you, Erin. Close. Now, 98% of fashion businesses fail in the first 3 years. And there's 5 specific reasons why. It's not design. It's not design. You guys can build beautiful designs all you want. Are you a business? Is where it's really at. So one of the first reasons is lack of market research. Sure, you've built a huge collection of t-shirts, tops, pants, sweatshirts, socks. Who are you selling this to? Are you doing your market research on how many Gen Zs are buying pairs of socks online? Are they custom socks? What are people buying? Are you doing your research? Like if you want to be a dress designer, have you researched what kind of designs are selling currently? That is one. Number 2, weak brand identity. That is huge. A lot of us are creatives, and it's tough to get out there and really make sure that you are defining who you are, who your target market is. And you really have to focus on that. Like in fashion school, they teach you how to sew the dress, but they don't teach you how to build the business. That's a big deal. When you have to focus on building your brand, yes, that includes social media. However, I can't stress enough, if you are building your brand on social media and I see you snuggled up with your puppy or your kitten on your page that's supposed to be selling your collection, no. Have a personal page. That's fine. But I don't want to see your kitties when I'm looking for a new pair of jeans or a nice blazer. That's not the point. That's not why people are coming to your page. Lack of brand identity. Also, people do want to see you. They want to hear from you. However, they don't want to see you sloppy and messy. Don't be posting anything that's inappropriate. Okay, great. You're slashed out at the club at 1 a.m. Not good for your brand. Not good for your brand. Personal page. Brand identity is everything. You have to act like a professional if you want to be seen as a professional. And yes, I'm not telling you can't go out and have a big party, but don't post it on your brand page. Ineffective marketing. Again, with that being said, ineffective marketing. Marketing is super important. If you're not out there, if you do not have a website, I'm sorry, you're not in business. Fact, 100%. You need to be able to send a newsletter out once a month, bare minimum, about where your business is at. What's your newest release? What is the backstory of your collection? What is the backstory of this dress? You really have to get in personal. People are going to love the personality that comes from your collections if you market it correctly. You need to be sending an email out once a month. You need to be able to have, you need to create an actual marketing plan. So this week you're going to focus on your brand identity. Next week you're going to focus on the collection that's coming out. The week after, do you have an event coming up? Because you better have an event coming up. Everything cannot be online. You have to have a physical presence as well. As creatives, we all think what we do is 100% perfect. It's the way I want it, so everybody else wants it that way. No. If you want to do this as a fun side hobby and it's really important to you to create your art and enjoy where you're headed with it, that's fine. Don't call yourself a business person then. Do not call yourself in the fashion business. Call yourself a fashion friend and leave it at that. If you are not listening to your customer feedback, that is a huge problem. Are you asking for customer feedback? Are you engaging with your customers? If someone has purchased something off your website, which you better have you followed up with an email saying, how is the garment working out for you? Is there anything that, maybe you think that could have been improved? You don't have to sell yourself out in any way, shape, or form, but if you want to be a profitable business, you have to listen to your customers. Customers love to be heard. And number 5, inadequate planning for scaling. Are you planning to scale a business? Or again, are you just a fashion friend? If you're not scaling your business in a proper manner, that's a problem. You can't have 7 fashion shows in a year and have never sold a piece. That's a problem. It's fun to have fashion shows. I'm a fashion writer. I write about all of you and I love it. It's fantastic. However, have you sold any of those garments that you've shown on the runway? Are you scaling these things? Are you reaching out to buyers to attend your events? Or are you just inviting all of your friends? And me, who loves writing about you anyways. Love you all, regardless. Are you scaling? Are you sitting down with a business plan and saying, okay, I created 1, 2, and 3. I created a jacket, I created pants, and I created a dress in this collection. I'm going to scale this jacket in the next 3 weeks. I'm going to scale this pants in the next 5 weeks. I'm going to scale this dress in the next 8 weeks. And have a plan for each one of those as to how you're targeting your market, getting that piece out. Are you targeting buyers, period? That is the biggest question I have for all of you, and you all need to get real with yourselves right now. This is called the Fashion Business Unfiltered for a reason, because I'm not here to give out participation trophies. I'm here to tell you the truth. Are you reaching buyers? Are you selling your collections? You really need to ask yourself, am I scaling this as a business? That is where, yes, of course, Q Agency comes in. I have a recent business management for fashion from the School of Fashion Design in Parsons. And I learned so much, although I've always been in business more or less. I learned so much about how fashion designers are really failing because they are just not scaling their business. They are making the simple mistakes of being this fun creative, like, okay, do you have, like, back to the brand identities. That's something that I really want to focus on, and it came to my mind through the research that I was reading. Unfortunately, it's all on my phone, so it was a little more put together. And I have a head cold from hell, so here is my wonderful tea. Oh my God, that matters. Tea matters in life, people. Self-care, self-care. Brand identity. There's a local designer who knows her stuff. Melina, Lala B, every day. That woman is put together. Not only is she educated, which is a very big deal, she is an educated designer. She graduated from the School of Fashion Design here in Boston. She is an educated woman. With that being said, the School of Fashion Design, and I have fun stuff coming up, and I love them. Jen, you're great, but they've just really taken an interest in the fact that, you know what? We teach them how to make the dress, but we don't teach them about business. So you leave there not knowing how to build a business, and Melina has figured it out. Some of you out there get it. That woman is very strategic with who her customer base is. Lala B every day. It's very simple. Lala B every day is a very specific woman. A woman that is, headed into the business for the day. Then that transitions into even going out for a cocktail after work at night because it's a beautiful gown with a little bit of design, but yet it's simple, it's classy, it's couture. She has a couture line and she built off of that brand. She doesn't have 75 jackets. She doesn't have a purse. She doesn't have shoes. She doesn't have socks. She doesn't have hair ties. She is brand identified. Check out Lala B every day or Lala B Melina, I love you. She knows what she's doing. She has an identity. She talks to her customers. She speaks to her customers. She sends out her emails. That woman has got her business put together. It's really important to know who your customer base is. You can't have 7 different collections and expect the customer to understand who you are or even build a customer base. Melina has built up a beautiful customer base because the woman who loves her piece, her kimonos, says, you know what, that dress will go really good with this kimono. She learns how to piece things together for each design. So she's creating collections for a specific customer base. It's super important. I get it. Yes, we're all creatives. I'm a crazy creative too. I'm all over the place. But you know what? The one thing that's been sitting in my back pocket for a long time, because I do know how to sew, I have done that, is a very specific set in stone design, which will be released sooner than later. However, I get it. I'm trying to resonate with everyone out there. I am a crazy creative. I do 50,000 things. But my design that I have in my pocket is simple, to the point, and probably the most basic thing I've ever done with my entire life. It's important to have a little bit of basic when you are in your brand. You can't be scattered and all over the place. Hi, Robert Paris. Robert's messaging me right now. I just really, this is a 10 series. This is a 10 episode series, everyone. I really want everybody to continue building business. It's really important. It all stemmed from the Reality of Retail fashion panel I had with Alan Rouleau. I had Dina. She has Viera Lux. She does New Hampshire Fashion Week. And then we had our beloved Kayla from BOGO Split. All of the insight they gave was so heartwarming that has actually sparked a new project that's coming up soon. We have a meeting today, don't we, girls? And it's super important because Boston needs to be put on the map, guys. I write about you. I have a full book written about you fabulous, fabulous people. Hello. I believe there is plenty of fashion here in Boston. Now, who's going to make a buck doing it? That's the question. That's the important part. Oh, Queenie, I love this top. It's difficult. Do we have any questions? Sent you a request. Okay. All right, Alan. Now, does anybody have a specific question? I saw Emily Abby joined. I love this, guys. This is amazing. Because, like I said, this specific episode. Hi, Ellen! I have been speaking about you over and over again because of this 10 episode series sparked from the feedback I was getting from the Reality of Retail panel, which you sat on, which was
I did.
amazing. You did. You were so informative, and I was so thankful and blessed that you came to do that. It was you've helped me in a million different ways. I mean, Alan, are you in the studio right now?
I
I
am.
am. Oh, fantastic.
I
Are
am.
I am. How's it? Talk to us. Talk to us. What's on the agenda for the week with your
Trying to stay
clients?
warm and track down clients who are decided to stay away with this cold weather. And I think
Yep.
I've rescheduled more clients this week than I've seen. So
Yeah.
uh,
That's one of the things I was talking about earlier on is, we just got to be happy and keep it positive. I get it. Spring is on the way, so we just have to kind of really stay focused with that. And then for anybody that doesn't know, good old Alan here. He's our custom guy. He makes everything too. Did I see? Are you doing custom shoes now,
custom shoes as well. They're handmade in Spain. Um, it's been a I spend my time when there's no clients here working on new designs and products. We've come out with a line of custom bomber style jackets, safari jackets, and barn jackets, which can be worn and layered for spring.
Alan?
So ordering now could be taking anywhere between 5 to 8 weeks,
Oh
depending on
wow.
where
Well,
the
because
fabric
you're
is.
custom.
Everything is custom, so it's the immediate gratification is knowing that you're having something unique and one off, and then you get it again when the product gets delivered and you get to try it on. And working with me and seeing a fabric piece, a swatch, and then the design, and then the fitting process, and then to actually see it on you when it's done, it's kind of like doing it twice.
See,
So,
this is exactly what I was speaking about. I think maybe before you came in, I was talking about Melina, Lala B,
mhm.
whose brand identity is on point, as is yours, Alan. Yes, you might do a jacket, you might do jeans, you might do shoes now. However, you are in the custom tailoring creation business.
Yeah,
You
almost
haven't, I'm sorry?
yeah, where most designers create a line based on their own style and premise to highlight what their client demographics are. I create, I have my own brand with what I do because it's all custom, and I've been doing it 39 years this year. Is that I create brands for each client.
Yes.
So each client gets to actually take, I mean, the existing clients already know because I've been doing it with them for a while. New clients coming in, I tell them it gets to be very addicting because you get to actually see what you think like you want to look like. Really tough sometimes to go to a store and have that done because you don't always buy exactly what you want. Sometimes you end up buying the next best thing or you need it in a hurry. And that's the clothes that you have in your closet you never wear but once coming in. The
That
biggest problem my clients have is what to choose, is everything goes. And when you're planning a custom wardrobe, as we go along through the years, everything coordinates. So it's a higher price, a higher price garment, but you don't need as many. Living in the city is always a big help because your closet space is never that big. So,
exactly.
you know, uh,
Exactly.
yeah, and my job is to work with each client, their budget, their comfort level, and it's I spend a lot of time. It's not, once you walk through my door, the sales parts are already done. Nobody comes to see me to like kick tires. So they know what I do, 99.9% of them. And when
And
they
that's
do,
the beauty of your business. And that's really kind of what I've been speaking on is you have a customer base that knows what you offer. You're not confusing in any way. Just because I did mention it earlier, I was like, okay, are you a designer that has handbags, jackets, shoes, socks, purses, which is all too much? Like, where is your identity? Your identity is in, yes, I can offer you all that. However, I'm custom tailoring. My point is, a lot of it, this is why it's the name of this episode is why fashion brands fail. It's not design. It's business oriented. Like these designers out there that have these 80 different pieces, they've created all of these pieces. They have this inventory they can't offload, and it's just sitting there, and they don't even know what to do with it. And then maybe it's, nothing is forever, so it starts to lose its luster. But when
Well,
you're doing that, you're doing it from a custom aspect. You don't have inventory sitting around that you design 20 handbags and 50 pairs of matching socks. Like what the hell do I do with this stuff now? Like you're actually custom tailoring for the client. So there is no leftover inventory. I think I even
no.
asked you for fabric and you're like, I don't have fabric.
Yeah, the fabric I do have is unique, specific type pieces that I find. If I do a buyout on them, it's usually because they're a higher priced fabric that I've gotten at a reduced cost, so I'm able to offer my clients a better price. And I look for more things that you don't see. When you have access to, I'm using probably 9 mils between my shirting fabrics and my clothing fabrics, and not all those fabrics ever get put into production or anywhere. So um, a lot of designers, big name designers, will take a mill that I use and they'll have the mill make them their own fabric. They'll order
Okay.
five. They'll order 5,000 meters, and they'll do a collection coming in. The the running aspect of what I do in the custom world, which people sometimes are not familiar with. That's why it's always fun working with somebody new when you realize it's not that much more money in the long run because you have a piece that you absolutely are in love with. So I always tell designers coming up who want to do collections, and they say, "Do you do a collection?" I say, "No, I don't do a collection. Because I can have 5 different people walk in the same week, and I'm making them totally different looks." From a designer's perspective, you have to treat it like a business. So you have to target your demographic first, which I believe you probably already mentioned.
I did.
But- And that's something we spoke about. But a lot of I think new people coming out of school or design school have a very romantic notion about being a fashion designer. Well, there's a big difference between fashion and style. So I think you need to combine those two when you're a designer to do a collection. For myself, I'm not a fashion guy. I'm a style guy. Because style outlives any fashion premise. Classics are always there. We tweak it with fabrics and different draping. So, but from a designer's point of view, for somebody who wants to be in the business, you really have to know your client base or who you're trying to attract. That's going to tell you your price point. The price point is going to dictate to you what you're going to make. Then that dictates to you what the fabric you're going to buy. So everything has a reason when it comes in. And to be able to sit there and make clothes, and if it's not well made, and 30 years ago we didn't have this issue. If it's not well made, you can probably find it cheaper or copy it online somewhere. And if you can't compete with any of the big online stores or retailers or websites, because they do such a huge mass volume, they'll undercut you before you even start. So
Yes.
I wish I think there's a dearth of designers looking to do upscale, more high-end stuff, more couture, more handmade, more handwork, because it takes time, and nobody, it's not like it was, when David Joseph started out, or Danny Fouché, or Denise Hajar. Um, Unfortunately, we've all been doing it for a really long time, and we were just talking about that. I was talking to David, and people say, "Why don't you hire somebody to come in as your intern? You can teach them the business." I said, I'm always looking for somebody to come in and I can show them what I do. Nobody has the patience. It's not
Uh-huh.
it's not immediate. So you have to learn. You don't just learn to sell. The clothing will sell itself if it's a great product. That's my whole premise. You need to create a service. You need to do things that stores don't do. unless you want to go to a store. You see where all the big box retailers are having problems. Saks,
Yeah.
bankruptcy. Neiman's, borderline. Nordstrom. I mean, all those things. And a lot of the big box retailers tried to do custom. Didn't work. The reason why they didn't work, they couldn't follow up with the service end and they weren't training the people enough. So like Trunk Club, a disaster. They actually created more nuisance than anything else because people got used to thinking that it was custom. Really wasn't. So, versus walking into a store and spending 20, 30 minutes with a salesperson trying to sell you a piece of clothing off of a rack, I'm spending 90 minutes just talking to somebody on what they want to do in a vision. Either it's a wedding or it's a mother of the bride, and I'm bringing them to David, or a special event coming up, or an anniversary, or a wife buying something for their husband. They said, I don't know what to get him for his birthday, his anniversary, or Hanukkah. Maybe I'll make some shirts for him, or maybe I'll have a custom made sweater made for him. Those things all have meaning, and
Yes.
that's what I try to tell designers who go on a larger scale than what I do. You got to think. You got to think in that kind of realm in order to make your product work. You don't want to have 15, 16 looks go on the runway at a fashion show that all look identical or kind of the same with just different colors. And if you're not fitting the models properly, or you're not making the clothing the way they should be made, it's going to look great on a runway. It'll never come to fruition on a sale. If you can't come to fruition on a sale, why bother putting it on a runway? And you're just wasting your time.
Very true. Very true. Well, Alan, thank you so much for chiming in. That was awesome.
I wasn't expecting that. I was just coming to
I
listen to
know,
you.
but you are always a wealth of knowledge and happy to share it. And I just wasn't expecting it either. So I was
well,
super thrilled, Alan,
well,
for you
let me.
chiming in. Thank you so much
I
for coming and giving
always
us your
supporting you, Angela.
insight.
I've known you since you
Always.
started.
I know, I love you. You're the best. I think I
Good.
actually covered you once or twice when you would do a show
I
with David
I I,
Joseph.
I think so.
So, but we get it. That is, you're on to the business aspect of it. But thank you everyone for attending and coming. We will be live again next Thursday with episode 2. And a big shout out to Alan Rouleau for giving us some well needed insight.
I apologize for the intrusion.
No, oh my God, I love it. Are you kidding me? Come on, Alan. Come on. You were the best. This all sparked off of you,
Yeah,
off the
well,
reality of retail. So I'm with it. But thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the day. Bye.
I'll see you.